So we got the family on the boat today. We got Joshua, Crockett, and Rachel. We're excited to get offshore, bringing some wahoo action out the coast of North Carolina, the Crystal Coast here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be a good day. We're excited to have everybody on board, and we'll see if we can stretch some stream. You know, when you're trying to plan an offshore trip here in North Carolina, it's a little bit tough. We start looking at the weather early in the week, and earlier this week it was really kind of showing nasty, and as it progressed through, it got a lot nicer, and today it wound up being a beautiful day. So we're prepared for running offshore on a wahoo trip, rigged up baits yesterday, and then we also set a pinfish trap so that as we're coming in case the offshore bite is bad in the latter part of the summer out there, because the water is kind of mottled, it's a little bit blended, it's not a real hard break anywhere, so it's kind of tough sometimes. But if we don't do well there, we've also prepared and ready to come in to try our best to drop a live pinfish for a grouper. So we're going to see what happens today. We're going to run offshore. If it's a great wahoo bite, then we'll bring you some action there, and then if not, we're going to do everything we can to stretch some line and bring up a big old grouper off the bottom for you. So stay tuned, let's see what happens. We're gonna give it our best.
Kind of right on the number.
Pinfish got nervous immediately. He's trying. There's salt. Away from him a little bit. He didn't like it. He didn't pull it off. Yep. So this right here is a black bass right here out of the coast of North Carolina. Do not get much better eating than this fish right here. They are fantastic. Super white meat. This is a pretty good one. Just ate a whole pinfish, and coming out and spit up a sea cucumber. So pretty cool stuff here out of North Carolina. Even if you can't get offshore right away, we figured we could stop, get a few, maybe a few groceries. We're hoping for a couple grouper. We stopped here at about 70 feet of water or so. And did some gags caught out here. We've caught a few out here in the past, and like I said, some nice black sea bass. So, and that's pretty cool also. You know, there's a lot of different species that are kind of staples in the fishing species in our area, one of which is black bass. They're plentiful in our area. They're relatively easy to catch. You can identify them on certain artificial reefs, rocks, ledges, hard bottom, right out of our area, anywhere from 3 miles out to 30 miles. And it's really nice to be able to have that type of species that you can go out, your children can have fun. You know, if Audrey wants to go out on a pretty day with us, have fun. Small tackle, a lot of light gear, and they provide a pretty cool fight. And it's a good way to learn how to fight fish, how to catch fish, how to anticipate a bite, how to understand how the bite happens, how the hook is set, if you're using circle hooks, how all of that works. It's really important. And black bass, absolutely one of the best eating fish that you will ever put on a plate. You know, in a spot where we've caught grouper, so some decent sea bass here, some black sea bass. So it's not a bad catch. I mean, it's fun, but we're still looking for a grouper. So we've worked with Accurate Fishing for a long time, and the variety of reels, offshore reels, jigging reels that they have is pretty amazing. Today, what we're using is a Boss Dauntless. It's a 600 narrow. It's a 2-speed reel. So you basically just push this button. So long and short, if we're grouper fishing, they get into the rock, we can push it down in low gear, crank them up, put a lot of torque on it, and then once they start coming up, it's quick deployment of the 2-speed. So the spool will spin faster once you crank the handle. So that's the value of a 2-speed. And I'll tell you, the narrow part of it is so when you're bottom fishing, you don't really have to worry about guiding the line too much. We'll use this 65-pound braid, and you know, and basically we use braid so you can feel the bite pretty easy because it has no stretch. Mono has stretch. We'll use a mono leader, but the good thing about bottom fishing, there's no stretch. You pull the fish straight up and put a lot of torque on it. These reels do an amazing job. It's got an outgoing alarm and all that kind of stuff on it too. So a lot of variety, a lot of versatility in this reel right here.
Just trying to get us back in position. Try a little different area on this ledge right here. Haven't had a lot of luck with grouper so far, just a lot of sea bass. Just searching around until we find them, hopefully.
This was a half-eaten one I was putting back down. The black bass, they don't really care that much. So, but if we get on a new ledge, we'll put a new pinfish down for a grouper, a live one. They love those liveys. The black bass, you know what? They'll eat it up like this.
We're really excited about the new Andros that's being built. It's going to have a Minn Kota 87-inch trolling motor on the bow of it. We're out here bottom fishing. That'll allow us to use the spot locks feature and hold us directly over the spot without having to drop an actual anchor. That will kind of free up a lot of time to be able to move around and hit a bunch of different spots without having to pull anchor and reset every time. Being able to stay right over top of these fish when you're bottom fishing is very important. You can be, you know, 30, 40 feet off to the side of them and never get a bite, but if you can stay directly over top of them, you definitely increase your chances of hooking up to that big grouper.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good looking spot right there. Okay, well, you know what? This morning started off goofy, a couple hours behind. We're headed offshore, but there was a place about 15 miles and it's marking up really, really well right here. We wanted to stop, give a grouper another try. Didn't have any success at the first area, which is about 70, 72 feet. We're out in about 92, going to be about 95 feet real quick. Before we head offshore, try to catch an afternoon bite with wahoo. We're still going to see if we can try our best to get a good gag grouper here. So let's see what happens dropping down these live pin fish and dropping down three different lines and 3 different reels. So we'll see what happens, see if the accurate can pull one up. I'm guarantee it can if it bites. All right, so we had to rearrange our strategy a little bit. Some storms came through last night and kind of messed it up a little more than we had anticipated. It still shows, you know, checking the SiriusXM weather and all that, it still shows to be pretty good offshore today. But instead of going offshore first, it was pretty rough, so came out about 15 miles out of Bogue Inlet. And we're gonna go ahead and drop, see if we can catch some grouper. Let us see if this wind will calm down a little bit. It's not horrible right now, but when those storms came through, we live on an east-west coastline, and so that wind was coming out of the south, so I had a long time to build up fetch. And so it increased the waves to about a 4-foot, you know, with about a 7 to 8 second interval. Supposed to stretch that interval out later today, so we're gonna give it an hour, maybe a couple hours, see if we can catch something off the bottom, catch a grouper, see what else is out here, and then maybe later this afternoon we'll go out there and try to catch an afternoon bite, we hope. So that's it, we're gonna give it a try, so we'll see what happens.
He's a keeper, but just barely. 24 and a half. Most people don't do it, and I didn't do it for a long time until somebody brought it to my attention, but really bleeding a fish, any fish, not just tuna and bluefish and stuff like that, help improves the quality of the meat. Even something as delicious as grouper just takes it one step further, just makes it taste that much better.
Taco Marine's Troll the Edge is brought to you by Taco Marine, Troll the Edge.
Ameritrail. Load, launch, relax.
Andros Boat Works, chosen boat for liquid fire fishing.
We're out here pulling them around. We'll give it a few hours. Hopefully we get a good bite, and we'll see if we can't bring something to the boat. It's a tough time of year, to be honest with you. Water's still real hot. There's no real defined break. We checked all of the SiriusXM sea surface temperatures and fish mapping and everything, and it's just tough right now to define any plankton or really any weed lines. So, you know, but you gotta go because you never know. So we got out here a little later than we wanted to, trying to catch the afternoon bite. We got set up about 1 o'clock. Finally died down enough to get out, about 60, 65 miles offshore toward the Swansboro hole. We got the baits that we brined up yesterday afternoon. Everything's swimming great. We got a couple teasers out there. We already had one bite. Had a wahoo come in and whack a planer rod and bit it off right behind the hook, unfortunately. Down that deep, 228 feet. Pull it hard though, whatever it is.
No, you got 100 feet to go.
Thanks.
Hey, you're doing better than me. I wouldn't have even
Pull it
made
hard.
Oh God, look at everything.
I don't know if it's an AJ or whatever it is. Whatever it is. What is it? Is it? I figure. Yeah, probably. Oh well.
So you're marking them all from up.
Yep. Right. Yep. Gotta give it to them. They're a fighting fish. Actually, they taste really good. A lot of times when you cut them and fillet them, they'll have quite a few parasites in them, but not harmful to humans. Well, they are tasty, but we're gonna let this one go. But they're tough fighters, as you can see on the bottom rig, for about 225 feet. A lot of fun. Yeah, not a huge one, maybe, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 pounds, somewhere in there, but still coming up from 225 feet. Still a lot of fun. We'll let him go have some fun with someone else at some point.
You can see where it came up.
You know, as the sun starts getting up today too, I get to thinking, you know, all the performance gear and the FXR stuff that we use. When I was a kid, you know, I wish I'd have known more about it. As an old man, struggle a little bit with skin cancers and that kind of thing. So, you know, as you know, the face shields and all the performance gear nowadays is so much different. You know, it was only cool to put a little zinc oxide on your nose, and you thought that was the cool thing. You know, back then you didn't really know about sunscreen. But one good thing about that, I don't like sunscreen necessarily, but all this stuff, it covers you up, keeps you safe, and my dermatologist appreciates it. So, Dr. Mizell, I'm paying attention to what you tell me, my friend, so I appreciate it.
we don't always have our outrigger poles on our boat. So what's really cool about the Taco system, and this is a brand new product from them, called the internally rigged collapsible outrigger system. They've got some really cool technology with internal tubes that the halyard lines actually run through so that you don't have them get tangled if you have to re-rig them. And then they also have a really cool J-lock system in here, so it's toolless. We're able to put them together without any tools at all. And this is a really nice system that I'm pretty excited about being able to use, being able to demonstrate, and actually been able to test it for them from the get-go. I'm actually the OEM sales manager, national sales manager for Taco Marine, so they've also been a sponsor of Liquid Fire well before I started working for them. And they've done some really cool stuff. We got some new outrigger mounts and these new outrigger poles that getting ready to come to the industry, and I think they're going to be really exciting.
There, and had a wahoo come in, got the wahoo, unfortunately didn't get the hook. Unfortunately didn't hook up, wouldn't come back for the bait. Get another bait on and hopefully can get another bite and actually hook up this time.
I'm gonna try a purple and black. Wahoos tend to like the darker colors sometimes, so we're gonna give this one a shot. We've been pulling a mahi color, so we're gonna put this one out and replace, see if we can drum up a bite. Not a completely worthless day, but not exactly what we're looking for. But hey, you know what? We got a bite. We got a nice little king here. It'll be good for the smoker for sure. So wahoo bite super slow. We had, I think we had 3 knockdowns really, kind of just cut off right behind the hook, and but otherwise pretty slow day, but not uncommon right here in September, right here out of North Carolina at a Bogue Inlet. But that's okay. Got a little meat for the box, and it's been a fun day of fishing.
Taco Marine's Troll the Edge is brought to you by SiriusXM Marine for fish mapping and all of your offshore weather data.
Coastal Kia, home of the truly exceptional experience. FXR, conquer the outdoors.
All right, this morning, y'all, we're going to go offshore, and normally, before SiriusXM created what's called fish mapping, we would get in here and check out all of the sea surface temperatures on our SIMRAD units to see where would be a good place to start and where temperature breaks would be. And so right up in here would give us a great idea. So come on over here. Let's take a look at what fish mapping has recommended. So as we go out of Beaufort Inlet in North Carolina, we've got a couple of different options here for mahi. There's also some places recommended for wahoo and tunas and that kind of thing, but looking for some mahi today. And right here in this area, right offshore, starting at the Big Rock and headed north, I think what we're going to do is start in here today where the recommendation of fish mapping is, and then we're going to work right north to see what we can find out. We'll keep you posted, but fish mapping has put it all together for you to make those recommendations. So you do your homework, fish mapping has already done it for you. We'll keep you updated. We're going to start right in this area. We'll see you soon.
You got him on the tail. Dolphin. Well, that's a pretty one too. Yeah. Fish tried to eat 2 baits.
Nice fish, Steve.
Hey everybody, pretty successful day right here. We've had a couple of wahoo, and we're right in the middle of where the SiriusXM Marine Fish Mapping showed us to go today. We looked at it this morning. We got a great charter on the boat. We got Pat, we got Steve. Just caught this awesome mahi right here, right in the middle of Fish Mapping location. I'll show you right exactly where it is. So right where we talked about this morning, really good location for on the Fish Mapping satellite imagery. Right here is where we just caught this mahi, right in the middle of where the location is that was recommended this morning. We've been a little bit outside of it, and down below it we caught a couple of wahoo, but just now we caught that nice mahi right here in the middle of where the Fish Mapping recommendation is. It's at about 155 to 160 feet of water right in this location. So great job, Fish Mapping. I promise you, you're gonna love it. You need it on your boat, and it'll take you to where the fish are. Got a nice box of fish right there from the SiriusXM Fish Mapping satellite imagery. Taking it to us today. Excited about the opportunity. Love the product. You're gonna love it. Get out there and get your SiriusXM Fish Mapping.
Next week on Troll the Edge, we're going to be fishing the Swansboro 5-0. It's an incredibly important event and a great event in our hometown of Swansboro, North Carolina. We hope to win it. We've won it before, and more than anything, we're hoping to have a good time with the family.
Turn to the right, he's going that way.